Yo, get y'all self in here. I managed to make it back in time. Managed to make it back in time. Atreyu, what up, dog? What up? What up? And just when I thought I could perhaps retire the series, we back to another platinum roast on a Friday. How I'm feeling about the Cotton Bowl? Shit, go Bucks. That's how I'm feeling about the fucking Cotton Bowl. They gonna crush them. Shit, Hulk smash. Chill, what up, man? Science guy, what up? Yeah, y'all foul up in here, man. I want this Gabe go come in here. I want this Gabe go come in here. Squib King, what up, man? Cam, what up? Lion, what up? Waiting for Gabe too. We're gonna wait for Gabe too. We're gonna wait for Gabe too. Yeah, we're gonna wait for Gabe too. Saul, what up? Yeah, I'm always gonna come hard with the thumbnails, man. I'm always gonna come hard with the thumbnails. Sound check. What's wrong with the sound? Yeah, this a year's end platinum roast. Yep. And yes, this roast is a holiday gift for humanity to roast these goddamn tellers. Squid King writes, a lot of tellers need a Christmas roast this time. But yeah, they sure do, man. See, I have on my festive apparel, roast this goofy ass nigga. Yeah, it's definitely barbecue time. Except it's no bushmeat on the menu. I don't want you tellers to get too happy. You're not gonna walk up in here and see a monkey spread out like this on the grill or no shit like this. Nah, bro. Nah. Nah, you ain't gonna see no motherfucking gazelle turning on the spit with the horns. Nah. It's a barbecue, but it ain't that type of barbecue. Not that type of barbecue. Stephen, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Let a few more of y'all get in here, man. I hope Gabe come in here. What's up, Lucy Honey? Merry New Year to you too. Merry New Year. No, this ain't. So I'll say roasting a nigga in the holiday suit is diabolical. No, this ain't even what I'm wearing out, man. This ain't even what I'm finna wear out. This is just what I was running around in today. This is what I was running around in. I'm sitting by this drafty ass window. That's why I got this scarf on. You say we need to bush me, huh? Bouleye, bouleye, bouleye. You know what? Let me go ahead and alter this title and put this pussy ass nigga in the title. Let me put his pussy ass in the title. Bring him over here. Put his ass in the title right quick. What's his channel? Cybersecurity or some shit? No, that ain't him. me find this nigga.
I mean, I'm an 8-year-old kid, right?
Damn. Somebody find that nigga. Find that nigga's channel for me. Find that nigga's channel for me. No news. What up, man? Rashawn Talley, what up, man? Find that nigga's channel, man. Okay. Thanks, Gail. Thanks, Gail. Thanks, baby. Struggle security. Okay, there you go. All right, now we can tag this bitch ass nigga in here. No, I got it, Gail. Right, the wrong button. I got it. So let me go ahead and tag this goofy ass nigga in here. Okay, there we go. All right. All right. Made sure I got him tagged in. Got him tagged in. Doug Dissident, what up, man? Kwame Kaji, what up? No news, what up? All right. Okay. So now I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the screen of an interaction, a very bizarre interaction, I should say, with Obsidian and fair use, man. Shout out to Obsidian. Yeah, this last roast of the year gonna be a motherfucker. Yeah, you exactly right, brother. You're exactly right. So here's Obsidian.
Why did they really ban the most effective fat burner in history? It wasn't about safety. It was about...
This is a sign of yeast growth. Damn. This is a sign of yeast growth. This is a sign of yeast growth. Now, if you...
A question, because this gentleman right here, Gabe, and we're talking about psychology. You are studying to get a psychology degree. So let me tell you about this brother right here. He's out of Detroit.
See, now look at that right there. I want to place emphasis on that comment. I want to place emphasis on that pussy ass comment that Gabe just left right there. Calling Rumble. It says Obsidian returns to the content creator graveyard. And that's what I want, almost the very crux of the argument in this roast of this bitch ass nigga to be. Now, if he's ridiculing Obsidian for being over on Rumble and he sees that as the content creator graveyard, well, if he sees that as an object of ridicule, then that means that he agrees with the censorship that has Obsidian over on Rumble. Right? And so this is a person who would try to presume to tell us Americans how to live by agreeing with censorship. When his tether ass, his Bushmeat nigga ass doesn't realize that that is antithetical to the American way of doing things. By design, we are supposed to have a full diversity of opinions. This is why I say these people need to be taken out of this society. He thinks that free speech, freedom of speech, the First Amendment is a joke, a toy to be played with. He does not fit in our society. I don't give a fuck what his title is. I don't care what his credentials are, any of that. That fancy cybersecurity shitty, I don't care.
Went to the University of Maryland, which is, well, at least it was. I haven't checked this year's standings, but as of last year, it was in the top 10 of engineering schools. Married, has 2 children. The man has been following me around from platform to platform for years.
You heard what the brother Obsidian just said. This man has been following me around from platform to platform for years. Same thing with me. Same shit. Right? Following men from platform to platform for years. Now, wait a minute, Gabe. Weren't you the one who came, who always comes on to our broadcast to call us losers? Right? Aren't you the one who always comes over here to call us rejects, right? So I'm not even going to argue with you about that. So let us, for the sake of brevity, consider your argument that we are rejects and losers, right? Well, then the question becomes, then what do you get out of coming over here punching down? If we're the losers that you say that we are, if we're the losers that you say that we are, then aren't you exposing yourself? Because what would one of us look like getting on the subway, especially to harass poor and homeless people? Everybody will look at us and say, man, why you messing with him? He already down on his luck. Why you messing with him? That's how people would react if you were feeling bad about yourself one day, and so you wanted to find somebody to feel superior to, and so you jumped on public transportation and began to talk shit to homeless people about being broke, or man, you stink, or man, your clothes dirty as fuck, nigga. God damn. No, ain't they got shelters for you niggas? Imagine how people would look at you if you did that. Well, isn't that you, Gabe? Because you yourself have described us as rejects, right? You've described us as losers. You've described us as medium broke. So if we're to believe what your approximation of us is as content creators and as people, well, then wouldn't that mean that you're punching down? Isn't that what that would mean? Yeah, you're right about that, KC. Most Africans, unfortunately, are just dark-skinned white men. Straight up.
Years. When I say years, I'm talking about at least easily 2019. I'm being conservative. And he always leaves comments like this. So for a brother who claims to be so successful, and he always compares himself to me, which I'm like, why? But nevertheless, he always compares himself to me. So earlier this year, I was invited to a show over on YouTube, and he came on the show and just acted really odd and strange. I'm trying to be as objective as possible, odd and strange. And he says this stuff. And he follows me around. He follows me on Facebook. He follows me on, I'll be going on Freezy's show tonight on YouTube. He'll be there. He follows me around every place I can go. Look. Letitia.
You just, okay. Look, notice the comment that Gabe leaves. I never compare myself to you. I'm better than you, LOL. Why would you go and constantly harass and harangue somebody that you're supposed to be better than? Again, I'll offer another example. That's just like one of us going to a Scylla home. If you don't know what a Scylla home is, it stands for Community Integrated Living Assistance. And that's where people with severe developmental disorders, like me and lower on the spectrum with autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, and all of that are adults, stay in those places. So there will be just like one of us sitting outside of a Scylla home and waiting until the facilitators that work at the home take these people out on outings to go shopping and then follow them into Walmart and calling them retarded. That would be the equivalent of that, right, Gabe? So if Obsidian is so much, if you're so much better than him, shouldn't you have something better to do than follow him online and fuck with him? I'm just saying. Because you claim to be better than him, but your behavior does not demonstrate that.
What is your read on behavior like that?
Well, something about you definitely triggered him. I don't think it has anything to do with you. It's what you represent. Usually that's unconscious. There's something in his
Now here's a psychologist breaking this shit down.
childhood that your behavior reminds him, that is triggering his unconscious mind. He probably doesn't even know. Like he's saying, it's fun watching you drown in the pool of your own stupidity. That doesn't make any sense as to why you feel it is your duty to go around and antagonize somebody who is not bothering you, who doesn't know you. So it's something about you, but not you, that is triggering him. It could be a deep insecurity. It could be the fact that you are bold and audacious, and he wish he was. There's a myriad of reasons as to why, but he probably doesn't even understand the reason himself.
Yeah, because and I was thinking about this, so I'm glad you showed up, Gabe. I'm glad you're here, because we just happen to have somebody who is actually studying to get her psychology degree. And to be fair, this isn't your forte. You're going for mating, but here he goes. Look, here you go. Here you go. Here you go.
I'm not 50 yet. Well, also trolling. Like trolling is a thing. Like it's the need to get attention, the inability to regulate your emotions, the inability to self-regulate. And trolling is a way for them to get what's on the inside out. So that's what he's doing. He's trolling. The best way to deal with trolls is to just block them, ignore them.
Right, ignore them and block them, right? And we understand that, but but this is a man, this is a guy, and he says, here you go. Now, again, this is a well-educated brother. By all,
trolling is fun. You see that? That's very telling that Gabe says that trolling is fun. I've never trolled anybody like that. I don't get anything out of that. Oh, what up, Amero? What up, man? I'm glad you found it. I don't get anything out of that. I don't get anything out of it. I don't see how trolling is fun. The only group of people, it's only two groups of people that seem to find trolling to be fun. Yep. Right about that, Squib King. That's a European mindset. Trolling is fun. Exactly. That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. But it's only two major demographics that like doing shit like that. And we all know who they are. That's Black American women and white men from basically worldwide, but mostly white American men are enthusiastic about trolling, right? Further proof that inside of the heads of African men and black women, it's a little bitty white man standing back there.
You know, standard conventional norms, successful guy, married, 2 small children. I mean, he's up at all times of the day. Like, I'll be going on the air, you know, later on in the evening, and I'll be on the air like around in the midnight hour. If I were married with small children, the last thing I'm doing is following a guy around who, so I say, I have no use for. I got other things to do with my time.
Well, trolls aren't happy with they're typically not happy with their life. There's not excitement going on in their life. They use social media as a form to get that excitement. Like they need a rush. They need a thrill. And they get a thrill out of antagonizing people who respond to it. If you don't respond to it, then they don't get a thrill, so they move on. But as long as you are feeding them, giving them supply, they're going to keep doing it. So it just tells me that he's unable to regulate his emotions, and he's not happy with his life. I took Introduction to Social Media. Like, they're starting to study the effects of social media on behavior. And one of those subjects was trolling. And I found that very, very interesting, that these people are deeply insecure and they are unable to regulate themselves. And so they'll find someone who feeds them supply. They'll antagonize. If you don't respond or ignore them, pretend like they're not there, they'll go away. But if you feed them that supply, you give them any type of attention, now you're giving them that thrill, you're giving them that rush, that excitement that they're longing for, that they're not getting in real life. And that's why they're going to keep doing it.
And you know what's interesting, and I'm glad he did this, because this is a teachable moment. So, and we've kind of touched on this. You've been talking about this for years prior. This is when you were deep in the matchmaking game, before you actually went back to school. The educated lane. Okay. I would hear black women, not you, but I would hear black women say words to this effect. On paper, he's great.
Mm-hmm.
On paper. But then, you know, he's...
Machismo, what up, man? Distant Rose, what up, man?
Fill in the blank, whatever the case may be. On paper, Gabe is a great guy. With the good schools, got a good job, got a few houses. On paper, it looks great. But then you see this type of, I mean, this man is closing in on 40 himself. He's talking about you being 50. This man he's born in 1988.
Yeah, Gabe, you're 37 right now. You're 37 right now. See, you think that a motherfucker playing with you when I'm telling you, Gabe. Woo.
Well, he's closing in on 50. I mean, excuse me, he's closing in on 40 himself. He's no spring chicken. This man is solidly in his mid-30s acting like this. I can imagine what he's going to be like when he's my age. I never did anything like that at his age. It never would occur to me to, you know, I was working hard then too. I was, you know, doing 12-hour days, 12-hour shifts on my feet. The last thing I'm thinking about is following a dude around who I claim I ain't got no use for.
Thank you. Before the first time one of my channels ever got took down, like 2016, 2017, I had 2 jobs and I was a content creator. Ain't no way in hell that in what little spare time I had left that I would be trolling nobody on the goddamn internet. Matter of fact, I will be glad to take a fucking respite from the internet, because I would have to use the internet for my main job and for being a content creator. My second job, not so much. Shit.
That's the last thing I'm doing. And I was single.
But he has use for you, though. He does have use for you. He gets a rush. He gets a thrill out of the fact that he can get you talking about him.
Right.
That you are focused on him, because that's his goal. That's so you are useful to him. To you find there's no use for it, right? It makes no sense. It's illogical.
Absolutely no. The only reason why I'm doing it right now is because you're the closest thing to a psychologist I'm going to get on this. So it was serendipitous.
Right.
You just showed up. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be talking about it. I'm like, oh, who gives a shit? But there's something, and I'm saying this, black women, and everybody knows.
Wait a minute. I don't know who this is that he talking to, but if he talking about she 50, god damn. Shit.
Hey yo, did this goofy ass motherfucker right here just compliment that female? You're a simp! You're a simp! Goofy ass nigga! You a goofy ass nigga! This simp ass nigga had the audacity to call that bitch pretty!
Had to get that in there. I'm looking, sitting there like, damn. 50? Okay.
I'm a harsh critic of black female behavior. I have my phrase. I'm not going to use it with you, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. Black female, and you fill in the blank. Fair enough. But, this individual right here made me take another look at that on paper piece. He really was the one that really did it. I was like, I'm going to have to revisit this, because I hear so many black women say it over the years. On paper, they look like this. On paper, okay. Now I'm kind of getting where they're going with that.
Yes.
Just because you're a brother and he went to a good school. I'm not denying that. He went to a good engineer. Now, it's not as good as Theo Waff's engineering school. He went to the University of Illinois. It's not on that level, but it is in the top 10. Very respectable. Went to a good school, came from a 2-parent home, all the checks off all the things. And then he acts like this.
How do you know all of this about him?
I have my sources.
Watch what happens when you block DHT from your scalp. Day 1, nothing visible yet. Day 30, baby hairs appear.
Oh, okay.
I have my sources. I mean, anybody that comes up on my radar and does stuff like this, I have my sources. I have my networks. Let me find out what's going on with this person. And that's how I found out over the years.
Yeah, as a matchmaker, peculiar behavior like that is why I got into the psychology aspect, because I'm like, again, these men were great on paper, especially amongst black men.
Right, yeah, Mm-hmm.
They were great on paper, but there was something off about them. Okay? Their personalities just weren't likable. They were deeply insecure. They were sabotaging. They were sabotaging matches. They were deeply insecure. It was just, or flaky. It was just very, very odd. And I had to go and research what was going on, because this was something that I didn't experience early on in my career. Now I noticed more money the man has. Like when I was dealing with my millionaires, I didn't have this issue. It was like the sweet spot between middle and right there at upper middle class. And I found that it's very prevalent amongst those who were born poor.
You know what that is? That's a mixture of entitlement, and that's a mixture of acting like the bitch that raised him. Because if the bitch that raised him had came into that type of money, they would be unconscionable to deal with in the dating scene. That's all that is. I could explain that to the lady. That's all that is.
And who elevated. And so I just found it very peculiar, which led me to studying psychology, and that's why I went back to school to get my psychology degree. Because it's like, what's going on? Why? Like, I cannot make these matches if the men don't have their mindsets together. And even in real life, like I will give a little tidbit.
Now, wait a minute. Now, I would think that's the last thing that you would want. Rashawn Talley writes, Tito, I think that ad was trying to tell you something. You should have let it play through. What about the DHT blocker? Now, you shouldn't want that. If you go be living in America, shit. Now, I got to save some of the hoes for the rest of y'all. Imagine how much worse it'd be if I had hair. Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying, man. Let's go.
On my personal life, I've experienced that. I experienced great on paper, but in temperament, personality, and character, we're not compatible.
Well, let me tell you a little bit, since he wants so much attention, I have a de facto psychologist here. Let me tell you a little bit more about Mr. Gabe. So Gabe, he actually, I want to hear what you have to say about this, Mr. Tisha. He actually met his wife through a female friend who he put up to pose as the friend of his now wife, so as to collect data and information on her such that she would go back and report to him, and then he could go and slide in. What do you make of that?
So he's not confident in his own skills. He had to, how can I put it? He had to prime her. I know who you're talking about now. I remember him. We had a conversation. He had to prime her and use a woman to do it because he's not confident in his own skills. So
that's some lame ass shit right there, bro. Gabe, that's some lame ass shit. That's some lame ass shit. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Every long-term girlfriend I've had in adulthood, they hollered at me first. I ain't had to do no goofy ass shit like that. That's lame as fuck.
He basically love bombed her to someone else.
Wow.
It worked for him because he got the girl. Obviously, they're married.
Right. Which was the argument? His argument was, I was effective. It worked. But everybody, and I want to send you the tape when we get off today.
What up, Shaka? Shaka asked, how did he start talking about Gabe to her? He was just trying to do, you see the topic, Dr. ? Of course, Cheyenne Bryant's racy outfit. So they came to talk about that see-through lace shit that Cheyenne Bryant had wore, and did it come off as desperate? And basically the subject matter of the show got hijacked because Gabe showed up within 30 seconds of him coming on trolling and bombing with comments and shit. That's how she, and so since she's currently being educated as a psychologist, Obsidian felt that, hey, since I got you here, what do you think about this? So that's how they started talking about Gabe. This broadcast was not about this nigga. But because Gabe wants attention, he showed up and he probably got the type of attention that he didn't want. And that's therapeutic attention.
I have the tape of his actual confession. Actually, someone sent it to me. I have the actual tape. I did a little bit of post-production magic to kind of throw some salt on the wound, admittedly. But nevertheless, I'm going to send you the tape so you can hear it for yourself in his own words. The people on the panel, this is over on YouTube some years back. The people on the panel, it was a mixed panel. It was black men, black women. Now, the black men tried to, run interference for him, say, well, you can't, there's not really no problem with it. The women weren't having it. They were like, man, that is some creepy shit.
Yeah,
that's what they said. I didn't say it, they said it. So, I'm staying out of it. So they thought that it was really, they used the word creepy. Okay. I would use the word unmanly. I don't see anything manly. And it's one thing if you got a buddy and, he knows a girl, whatever, he put in a good word for you. Okay, I get that. It's something else about setting up and we just got finished talking about friends and stuff too. Setting up a female friend to not put in a good word for you. That's one thing. But to pose, I'm going to send you the tape, to pose as her friend right? So as to gather intel about her and send it back to him. There's something off about that, man.
Hey, you ain't never lied, Chill. You right about that. Chill writes, it's sexually suspect that a grown man like Gabe will stalk other grown men like this. Yeah, it is. I'm surprised he not here in this live. I'm surprised the nigga ain't showed up already. We 35 minutes in. I'm surprised that he not here, frankly.
It's something wrong with that.
Well, now it tells me why that my first assumption was probably accurate, that you're triggering him because he probably sees y'all as being in the same lane, educated, knowledgeable, straight lace, button up type guys, right? The squares. But you seem to have no problem approaching women. You are very bold and you're audacious.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, Rashawn Talley. That's exactly what he's talking about. Rashawn Talley writes, I'm sorry for being slow. Is Obsidian basically talking about how Gabe got a broad to be with him? Yeah, he actually used a female friend as a cat's paw to like act like she was the friends with some other girl just to recommend the other girl to fuck with him. That's lame as fuck. When you got to go through that type of extreme, I'm sorry, that's lame, bro. That's some lame ass shit. I'm surprised the female even did. Maybe he paid her. Maybe he paid her.
And how you come across. You're very confident and you don't back down. You don't care that people may not like what you're saying. He may lack that type of confidence, and seeing you have it and him not creates jealousy.
Well, he sees himself as better than me because I come from a blue collar background, not formally educated. I do have trade certifications, but we don't really talk about that. So not formally educated. So he always compares them. And what's interesting, Theo Waff is the tech guy of the Black Manosphere Conclave. You know that. He is the chief technology officer. So I'm thinking, if you're going to make a comparison, wouldn't it be better to compare yourself to Theo than me?
Well,
I'm not a tech guy.
But
he can't compare himself to Theo because he can't fuck with Theo. He can't compare himself to him. There's no comparison. And we've been over that. I had Theo and Gabe on here at the same time. He can't compare himself to Theo because he can't fuck with him. I see what Obsidian is saying, but he can't fuck with Theo.
he's got to find a way to tear you down. You're put on a pedestal somewhere in his mind. So now he has to find a way to take you off that pedestal. You are not supposed to be up there. He's supposed to be up there, but he can't get up there because he lacks confidence. He's deeply insecure. So he has to try to tear you down in order to make himself feel better. Because someone who is confident in themselves, they're secure in themselves, don't go around antagonizing people for no reason. Like, obviously, you never said anything directly to him. I don't think there was no personal attacks other than to defend yourself from his antagonistic behavior. But with him, he's looking at you. He sees himself, but he doesn't. But what you have, he doesn't have, and that's jealousy. He wants you not to have your skill set, your confidence. You are on social media, and you're like, I'm not playing these games with a woman. You're either going to get on my program or you're not going to get on my program. You can't tell that to a woman.
Pretty much.
And he had to
drive there. I mean,
have a conversation with his now wife. He had to send someone else to do it. So he's not bold. He's not audacious. He's not confident in his skills when it comes to women. So looking at you, it triggers him. It creates jealousy.
Wow. It's. I had no idea this was going to happen, but you know what? Thank you. Wait, hold on a second. Where's my? Hold on. Thank you, Gabe.
Because you can get it.
Yeah, I feel good, don't it? I feel
feel good, don't it? Hey, I wanna let y'all know. Hey, I wanna let y'all know. This Jeezy, and you listening to Q-Tip, tip.
Yeah, he follows me on Facebook. Like, I have zero interest in following him. Zero. He follows me on Facebook. When I go to Freezy's show, I've been doing Freezy's show now for about a month and a half. Every Friday. Every Friday, he drops about $100 in super chats. Every last show. So you're looking at about 6-7 shows at this point. Every last one. But it's like, I will grant anybody a $1. Like, we're talking about Dr. Shine.
So this nigga is paying to troll Obsidian? Did y'all hear what Obsidian just said? I wonder what his wife would think of that. I wonder what his wife would think about him taking money out of their household in this economy to do this type of dumb shit.
Dr. Question Mark Cheyenne Brian. If she'd have just did this one thing with Jeezy, all the other stuff hadn't happened, I would have been like, all right, whatever. That's a one-off, fine. This is a sustained pattern of behavior. It's something wrong there. And we're talking about 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night.
One of my patients came to me worried about this shampoo he'd seen online. He said, this claims to grow your
On a Friday, right after Christmas.
Jealousy is such a strong emotion. I don't think people realize what state of mind jealousy puts someone in. You're living rent free in his head because he's frustrated. He's really frustrated with himself that he doesn't have the confidence. He cannot say the things you're saying to women, but he wants to. He wants to tell a woman no. He wants to tell a woman, I'm not doing that, and there's nothing you can do about it. He wants to tell a woman, I don't care what you think. He wants to tell a woman your feelings are not facts. But
Chill writes, damn, he should at least pay you too. Well, see, the problem with that is that if he was to cash at me, then I would have his name and his phone number. But I already got his name, so I don't really mind, you know. I already got his name.
he can't do that. So any man who does, especially you, whom he sees as being less than, you can't, and he can't. He doesn't like it. He's triggered by it. He's triggered by the fact that you could do something that he can't.
Wow. It's really, and we had no idea we was going to talk about this, but I'm glad we are. Because it does, like I said, it really does give me another. I got to hand it to the sisters on this one. They didn't articulate it the way I thought they should have, but I'm glad that nevertheless they did, and that Gabe is a live fire example of what they mean, because now I can articulate it. There is something to be said for the brother. And I don't think the word pookie is the right word, because I hear some sisters, I know you've heard it, you never said it, but I've heard some, at least that I'm aware of. There are some sisters, we're both going to use Clubhouse. I've heard sisters, and I've heard sisters say this on YouTube, all kinds of stuff. Say, well, you got the corporate pookie. What they mean is the brother that's dressed like I am, but they have pookie behavior. Now, I don't think that's the right way of describing it. I get where they're going. Excuse me, I get where they're going with it, but I don't think that's the right way of describing it. I think the right way of describing it, they just can't find the right words, but I think the right way of describing it is the way you just described it. These are brothers, for whatever reason, deeply insecure, have a weak sense of self.
All right. Obsidian, you right. Obsidian is right. The lady he got up there is right. It's crazy that we find ourselves roasting this bitch ass nigga again, right? Why do we find ourselves roasting this bitch ass nigga? Because this bitch ass nigga comes from a background and a lineage of other bitch ass niggas. Sure, they like to talk a good game about all that tribal shit. Sure, they like to talk a good game about all of that shit. Where your parents from? But nigga, y'all are the most subservient black men on the fucking planet. Well, I can't even call y'all black men. Y'all are the most subservient men on the fucking planet. Y'all didn't even have the motherfucking foresight to do what we did over here, or at least to attempt what we attempted over here. Y'all let the white people come over there and divide y'all ass up into little bitty pieces. At least the Wampanoags, Pequots, and Narragansetts formed a military alliance to try to fight off white people. Y'all never did that. Y'all let the white people back y'all off and pawn y'allself off against each other, and then you wonder why you are the way you are today, and then you got the nerve to come over here and ask somebody where is they motherfucking family from. When you've completely lost your motherfucking identity, you've completely abandoned your own motherfucking manhood. You've completely abandoned your own statehood and sense of nationality to suck up to white people over centuries, damn near half a millennium. But you got the nerve to come over here and ask us, where is your family from? Nigga, my family is from some place with running water. Nigga, my family is from some place with Wi-Fi. Nigga. My family is from some place with paved roads, nigga. Okay? That's where my family is from. My family is from some place with traffic signs to let you know where you're going and when to stop. You see, Anthony Joshua just took his ass back to Nigeria, and what happened to him? Car accident. Motherfucker's dead. They pulling him out the car with no shirt on. Bouleye, bouleye. But it looked good on TV though, right? See, y'all, while y'all talking about how stereotypical that we supposed to be, what are y'all? Y'all work hard to fit into that noble savage shit. That little bullshit identity that white people don't set up for y'all. Right? Y'all wear y'all ridiculous poofy hats and koofies and shit. And I love when y'all try to modernize it with the little tight ass polyester shiny fabrics and shit too. Right? Where is your family from? My family is from some place where we know how to dress. My family is from some place where motherfuckers wear cashmere scarves and shit and merino wool sweaters. Not mud cloth, nigga. That's where my family is from. And when it does get hot, my family is from some place where niggas put on linen and gaiters, nigga. My family is from some place where it's easy to find mechanical refrigeration. Right? But this is why I cannot wait until their birthright citizenship case is done in the Supreme Court. I cannot wait until their birthright citizenship case is done in the Supreme Court, and I can't wait to see what Justice Thomas hands down as far as his interpretation of the 14th Amendment when they get to the part, Section 1 of the 14th Amendment, about persons born under the jurisdiction of the United States. So we can figure out if they mean 2 American parents or 1. Because you better not hope it's 2, Gabe. Because if they say that it's 2, oh, trust me, we gonna have every motherfucker subscribe to every motherfucking Manosphere channel sending your name to ICE. And then you control us. You control the next time you troll us, you control us from a motherfucking internet cafe. But guess what though, Gabe? Your father is not a person under the jurisdiction of the United States. And neither are his relatives that's here in Michigan. Bet you didn't think we knew that, did you? See, you don't think fat meat is greasy around this motherfucker. You think that we like green gorilla over here. We not like green gorilla over here. We not worried about Cynthia G's freedom of speech as an academic point. We don't give a fuck about that. It's like we don't give a fuck about reporting your ass to ICE. We don't give a fuck about reporting anybody in your family to ICE. We want your ass gone. We know you the motherfucker that's running around flagging our channels. We know you the motherfucker that's paying for bots. How can we put it above you? If you're willing to go over there and pay hundreds of dollars multiple times in a row to go over there and troll Obsidian, there ain't no telling what you will pay for. Ain't no telling what you will pay for. See, I think the problem that you found with us, Dave, I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what the problem is. I think that us Manosphere content creators remind you of the cool niggas that fuck the bitches that you was playing with yourself thinking about in high school. Right? And I ain't saying all Manosphere content creators, but certain Manosphere content creators. I think that we remind your goofy ass of the niggas that you wish you was in high school. Because you the exact type of person that'll see a nigga that was cool in high school, working a regular job like everybody else, spending regular amounts of money like everybody else, and because you worked for your credentials, you would say some shit like, "Oh, you peaked in high school." They didn't peak in high school. They just became a regular person like everybody else. That type of shit is the battle cry of a person with childhood and adolescent wounds, character wounds. Oh, you peaked in high school. Oh, I got this. I can show you. And you know what? The dude that you talking about peaked in high school probably still is more socially at ease than you are. Can probably go to a party still and fit in better than you can. For all your affectations of social mobility and wealth and professionalism, they can probably still have people crowd around them talking at a party while your ass is hiding in the corner. And that pisses you the fuck off. And they can probably get more bitches than you without having to recruit another woman to love bomb them vicariously like your lame ass did. And that's the part about us that pisses you off. You troll these motherfucking channels. You do this homosexual ass shit because you wish you was us. I'm surprised your lame ass ain't here. Maybe the wife drugged you out to something, or maybe you getting ready to go somewhere with her. I don't know, but I'm surprised your lame ass ain't here. Hey, tell people like Gabe Bay that chill. Chill, right? If your life revolves around what happened to you in high school, then you need to examine yourself. Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers like Gabe, a lot of millennial niggas like Gabe are still complaining about shit that happened in them high school. about who the girls was choosing and all of this shit. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the driving factor behind why this nigga trolls our channels. Because we remind him of people that he ran across in his adolescence that he wished he could be. Or people that probably made fun of his ass for being a fucking tether. It ain't our fault. It ain't our fault they looked in your motherfucking lunchbox and seen your monkey meat sandwiches, nigga. And maybe you should have took some leftovers from the pizza places on the school. I don't know. Maybe you should have took some normal fucking food there. Then I mean, and what did you expect, nigga? You was on the band. You said that yourself. Shit, it's even American kids that be on the band that people make fun of that shit. Well, maybe that's another thing, because some of us on here used to be athletes, and that probably pisses them off too. But I think that psychologist lady, that the matchmaker lady that was talking about your ass, I think she on to some game. You need help, nigga. Straight up, you need help, nigga. Because it's really bizarre, right? That you will follow us around like this. It is. Oh, that's that, yeah. You know what? You're probably right, Revelator. Gabe would never appear on the stream psychoanalyzing him. Maybe he'd be on my next stream, but it's real strange that you didn't show up to this one. You showed up to all the other ones, but it's real strange that your bitch ass didn't show up to this one. And even if you don't get deported, even if somebody by some miracle that you're allowed to stay, by some last minute 11-hour legal decision that you are able to stay, right? You still are going to have to live out the entirety of your life in this country as a complete fucking outsider, as being overshadowed and outshined by foundational American black men, foundational black American men. You're still gonna have to wake up every morning and compare yourself to us. You're still gonna have to wonder that despite having all these credentials and this tech job that you brag about so much, that people still see you as somebody that they don't want to fuck with. Right? You're still gonna have to live out every day of your fucking life like that. And that's a life sentence in the prison that you've created inside of your own head, bitch ass nigga. Right? Why, man? About to get up out of here. The Ohio State game is about to come on. Mr. White. Revelator, thanks for the cash apps. Revelator writes, you may never see him again, General. We all know his game is played out. Nah. I think he'll come back. I think he'll come back after he licks his wounds. I think he'll come back on a podcast where we not even, or a live where we not even talking about anything that he would be interested in. We might be talking about some political shit, and he'll come and bring his ass over here. And when he does, I'm gonna pull this interview right up for his ass and see how long he stick around. Straight up. Well, all right, man. I'm about to get up out of here. Merry New Year in advance. hope y'all have a good and prosperous new year. This will be the last platinum roast, the very last live of this year. It's been a rough year, but it's been a good year, and I'll be back next year. And it looks like the platinum roast won't stop, but I will, of course, add other material to that. We will continue, of course, with the divest the games. We'll continue with the flat purse diaries. And we still will monitor all of the Supreme Court decisions and track all of the manuscript hit pieces and everything else we've been doing. Might slow down and write my book to attend to my Patreon and my website. But I hope y'all have a good time tonight. If y'all going out, don't get shot. Don't catch a case. Don't catch a DUI. It's been a Black Pill PSA. Peace.